All right, so we're going to do a quick, I don't know, 10, 15-minute thing about Python, and then we will move on to our Beyond Tech for today. Tomorrow we're going to cover Big O notation, and we'll spend a pretty decent chunk of time on that. And then we're also going to just do a big review so that you review everything for your assessment. So this is all in your curriculum. If you jump over to if you look at today and tomorrow, like everything I'm about to type is actually there as well. So let's go over here. I'm going to change the color so that you can all follow along. All right, so I'm going to change over to the desktop. I'm going to create a new folder actually. So I'm going to make a directory called Python examples, cd into that, and then open that up inside of VS Code. All right, so let's say that I've got two files. I've got, I don't know, file1.py, I've got file2.py. We should have probably covered this in the first day, but you know, that's okay. So let's say I've got just something that says like def say hello. Quick and easy. It's just gonna do print hello. And if I call it down here at the bottom, it should be pretty simple. Just call say hello. Save it, open up my VS Code at the bottom, list out everything, and then just run Python file1.py. Hello, that's perfectly okay. How do I bring in a file from, like, let's say I wanted to use a particular method from file 1 and bring it inside of file 2. Any thoughts on that? Have we touched this yet?
Import file.
Yeah. Yep. So all it is just import file. And then I can call say hello here at the bottom. List everything, Python file2, and it blows up. Say hello is not defined. How come I thought I did this correctly?
Star, import.
Yeah, from file
1 import star.
Yeah. Or file.
I could do that. I think I can also just do file1.sayhello. Let's see if that one works. So that does work. So I am calling in import file1. I'm saying hello over here by saying I'm bringing in file1. That's the name of the file right over here. And on there's a say hello method. So I'm just going to call that as this. So that's one way of doing it. The other one we could do, we can comment this one out, we can do import file1 as literally anything. And then I can just do literally anything dot say hello. So what this is doing is it's bringing in the entire file on line 2, saving it inside the literally anything variable, and then I can call say hello on it. So this is a different way of doing it. Now, big question, if I put file 1 inside of its own folder,
Yes.
And I pass this inside of there, I don't believe this one works anymore. Let's find out. So it blows up. It says no module called file1. So I don't know how to do this. How do I, because before it worked because file 1 and file 2 were right next to each other. It was at the same directory. So you can just say from file 1, which is at the same level, import it and save it as literally anything. How do I bring in a file that's within a folder or outside of here?
Do you import the folder?
I could import the folder. I see a hand though in the back. How do I do that?
John, I'm so glad you're actually doing this because this was like the bane of a lot of people's existence.
Sure.
We did a folder 1.file1 in the import statement, and that seemed to work. I don't know if it'll work for you, but
it does work.
Yeah.
That is one way of doing it. Any other way that you know of?
The init file for folder 1, we try to create one. Stackoverflow said to create one.
Yeah.
Init file, and we couldn't get that to work. I don't know any other way. But.
Sure. We could. So you're saying inside of here create an init file?
Yeah. It just didn't work. I don't know why.
Like that? Oh, sorry. This is tricky.
And then call it as normal.
And then I can just call file1?
Yeah, it didn't work. So.
That one blows up.
Yep.
So I don't know that one. Let's just create let's Google it, how to do it. Python, how to bring in another file. How to import another file. I'm going to choose this first Stack Overflow because it's the first one. Looks like somebody asked the question, how do I import other files? 611 people else asked that one as well. And there's a bunch of answers. Green check mark means that it was accepted by this person who originally asked it, so the original poster. But there are other answers as well. Some people say, oh, 835. So there's actually more upvotes on this one compared to this one. So I would read through a bunch of them and figure out the one that you like the most. So you could bring an import lib. This is one way of doing it. I don't know if that's the greatest one. You can do import A. You could do folder/import A. Or you can just jump down over here. And then they have different examples here. You can import it with the Python interpreter by just saying import Fox. You can do exec file. You can use the import file. How to import other files.
The question would be how to import other Python files in subdirectory.
Python, how to import a file from another directory. Importing files from different folder. Cool. We got another one. By default, you can't. Well, screw you. Could do that one. The output, you can do that one. Nothing wrong with this one. That one's fine. Yeah, I might just go with this one over here. It seems to be like probably the easiest one. So if you have like where you are, like relative to where you are, there is a, so the reason why this one works, like import folder one to file one as literally anything. The reason why that one works is that we have file two inside the same place. There is a folder one, and then you can, grab the file within that folder number one. I want to see if this one works because this is how it works in other places. Folder one/file one. See if that one works. That one doesn't work. I guess Python is just like that. Interesting. Okay, so that is how we can bring in, different files in different folders. But what if I wanted to bring in, let's say if I wanted to go the other way around, if I wanted to go from file one into file two, so I'm going to move this whole thing from in here, and I want to bring that into file number one. Any thoughts? I know I have to go up one level and then grab this, but I'm not sure how to do that. Yep.
Are they in the same directory, or I'm sorry, I can't see here.
So these are two different, it's in the same directory overall, but file one is nested within folder one, and I need to get to file two.
Good luck.
You know the Python, man.
We had this problem. We couldn't even, since you're referencing the folder by import, like in the folder one, we couldn't even test locally because our imports were referenced outside, so we had to test everything from the runner file. It was really bad.
Yeah, let's Google it. I don't know. Let's just Google it. I'm not sure. All right, so I want to import from a different folder, application app, blah, blah, blah. Make sure the folder also connects input as a package. Not why other people say iPod. There's a whole bunch of answers here. So I'm not actually sure. So let me try Googling this again. Python, import file from other folder. I mean, it's the same Google search that we had a little bit before. So I'm just going to get a whole bunch of them and just kind of walk you through the thought process that I have. So this is the same Stack Overflow as before. Let's see, what is an import? This is basics on this one. Looks like this is an import. It'll look for a folder name spam, not case sensitive, search ones, blah, blah, blah. System path. All about init. So the init has two functions. One of them is convert a folder of scripts into an importable package of modules and run that. Okay. So This does not apply to Python 3.3 and above. It treats all folders as packages, so empty init files are no longer needed and can be omitted. That's nice.
That's what I do. I see someone's documentation on Python 2.7 or whatever. Try to
Let's take a look at Python to import a file from parent directory. Parent directory is one that goes up one. File from parent directory. Since you have no packages, so you need to make that. Adding a init will make your packages, blah, blah, blah. -3, that's not what you want. Import that one.
We did the OS stuff now.
Yeah, we can try this one. This one looks like it's easy copy paste. We'll grab this, jump over, and see if this one works. I'm importing OS and sys from the Python main library. And oh man, maybe I can do this. Import file1 as anything. Anything dot say hello, please. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll find out. Okay, it can't open file number 1. So underneath here, directory name.
It needs the file name, I think. Concatenate it.
Yeah. You're not running it from folder 1 right now. Yeah, it's on the wrong. Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. Let's throw a from IPython import embed.
Yeah.
I'm going to embed right over here.
Yeah, but because we have to concatenate the file name plus the
Oh wait, I am running it from the different place. Hold on, I realized I made a mistake. All right, let's go to folder 1, Python file 1. All right, so this one blows up attribute model file 2 as anything. And that's it. Okay, so it was actually this. So it looks like I have to bring in the OS and the system folder coming in from Python core library. This line over here basically grabs it all and throws it into one, like it basically makes it into like all one directory. And then and then at that point I can just do import file 2 as anything, even though I'm within file number 1. And then I can just do anything that say hello. And as long as I'm running it from there, it should be okay. This is a way to tackle it. Okay. Let's jump over to something a little bit more complicated. Let's talk about Lambda functions. What are Lambda functions?
I don't know what Lambda stands for. Right, I know that.
So basically, Lambda functions are known as anonymous functions. They're one-liners, and I would say 9 times out of 10, you probably don't need to use these. But I just wanted to introduce them. So there's 2 ways to write methods. One of them, if you wanted to say like def add numbers together, I have num1 and num2, and I just do, num1 plus num2. This is the way that I would recommend 9 times out of 10. But if you wanted to write it as these are anonymous one-liner functions. If you wanted to do this in Lambda format and you wanted to name it as add numbers, it'd be add numbers equals lambda num1, num2, num1 plus num2. And let's just test that this one works. So I'm going to do add numbers here at the bottom. I'm going to 1 and 2 put together, so I should get 3. I'm going to comment this. Let's just run Python file1.py, and I get 3. Makes sense. This is pretty simple. This is what we know. Comment this one out, uncomment this one, and let's see if this does the exact same thing. We get nothing. Why is that? That's maybe because I do print. So this is a one-liner. We could name our functions if we want to. So we have add numbers equal to a lambda. Lambda is basically saying, like, I'm going to write this method in this particular format. I'm going to pass in 2 arguments, num1, num2. There's that colon that's shared. And then the body of it is after the colon, which is print num1 plus num2. It's not great, but you could also, this is one way to do it. If I were to do the same thing with squaring, if I wanted to square a number and I pass in a num, I just do, obviously, print num to the 2nd power. But if I wanted to do it in lambda format, I could do square number equals lambda, takes in a number, and then I'm going to print num to the 2nd power like that. Both of these are going to work just fine. Any questions on lambdas?
Is Lambda only in Python?
What's that?
Is Lambda only in Python?
It is not only in Python. So lambda functions are in every single language. So when you do things like in JavaScript and you have like the filter or the map, you're passing in a function that isn't named. So that's a similar thing. You just pass that in like that. You can also, inside of JavaScript, I mean, inside of Python, you can also just pass in entire functions. So let's say that you have this code, def my function. It's going to take in some sort of function and a number. You could just call it like this. My function, you pass in a lambda function, which is saying, I'm going to pass in a function. I'm going to return some function with that number inside of it. So what's happening here is I'm calling my function. I'm passing in a lambda function. It's not named. It's anonymous. And I'm just saying lambda is going to receive some sort of number called x, or something called x. And you're just going to return 3 plus 2 in our case. So I'm taking 3, passing it into the lambda. Lambda comes over here, 3 plus 2, and that whole thing is actually being replaced as, it should return 5 if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. Let's say print some function. There's that 5 right there. So again, I'm calling my function. It's going to take in some function, which is this thing over here. And you're going to print lambda of that. The way that this one works, it's actually replacing x with num. And what's happening here is it's just evaluating this thing here with 3, returning that 5, and then the return value I'm printing out. Not very common, but still something that you may or may not see. It's a one-liner version of that. Let's talk quickly about map, because is Gina there yet?
Nope.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she is here.
Oh, okay. In that case, let's. I'll finish the rest of this tomorrow, the map, and there's going to be something called filter. I'll finish that tomorrow, and I'm going to pass it off to Gina to do this beyond tech.
Okay.